Just today, Alibaba's Qwen team released their best coding-based model, and it's called Qwen-2.5 Coder 32B Instruct. This is their new flagship model, and it reaches top-tier performance, highly competitive, or even surpassing proprietary models like GPT-4 Omni in a series of benchmark evaluations, including HumanEval, you have BigCodeBench, you have Aider, and so many others. It's under the Apache 2.0 license, and you can easily install it today locally. Take a look at this benchmark test sheet where it showcases the Qwen 2.5 Coder 32B Instruct reaching scores of 92.7 in HumanEval, you have 90.2 in MBPP, and 31.4 in live CodeBench. Now in Aider, it scored a 73.7 and it scored an 85.1 in Spider. This is just quite amazing to see for an open source model to be competing against proprietary models and being something that outpaces many open source models. You can also now access this model with Cursor, and this hands-on integration allows you to fully grasp its effectiveness and adaptability in practical scenarios beyond what benchmark scores alone can reveal. And in this case, it's capable of doing a lot more than what you can expect, which is quite impressive for this new open source model. Something cool to also note is that they collaborated with OpenWebUI, where you're empowered to create powerful, customizable applications in coding, RAG, and more. And this is something where you can access this artifact sort of panel where you can build and enhance the capabilities of whatever you're utilizing the model for. Now, before we even dive into the technicality of this new model, I'm going to be showcasing how you can quickly install this. Now, you can either install this with LM Studio or with Ollama. Now, LM Studio is another way for you to run models locally, and I've made a video on this, so I definitely recommend that you basically watch this video, and it will essentially showcase how you can install LM Studio so that you can install any open source model locally. But in this case, you can easily install it with Ollama as well, where you can simply go over to the model card. You can copy this and paste it into your terminal based off the model size you want to install. So in this case, if you want to install the 32 billion parameter model, simply copy this, go into your command prompt and just simply paste this in, and you're going to be able to install this. But say if you want to install this with LM Studio, it's fairly easy. If you have watched the video where it showcases how you can install LM Studio, you can simply open up the application, search up the new Qwen 2.5 Coder model. You can press enter, and you can find the new 32 billion Instruct GGUF model. And based off the quant size you want, you can install it. Let me open this up so it's easier. And once you have found the right quant size you want to install, just simply click on the download button, and you're going to be able to easily load this up by selecting the model. In my opinion, LM Studio is better because it gives you a better UI for you to work with, but that's just my opinion. You can utilize Ollama as well. Both are great options. Now, essentially what we're going to be doing now is testing out this model, but before we even get to that, I want to showcase a bit more about the technicality of this model. Now, we all know that this is now fully open source, and it offers a fully powerful, diverse, and practical toolkit for developers. And essentially, this model stands out as a top open source coding model where it can rival against GPT-4 Omni and even Claude 3.5 Sonnet, where it is even outpacing GPT-4 Omni, but in certain cases it even outperforms the Claude 3.5 Sonnet. Now, they stated it's not designed for just coding tasks, it's also used for real-world applications like code assistants or AI artifacts, making it a versatile and ready for practical use case model, where it could be used for code generation, code repair, and code reasoning. Now, essentially, it excels in all three of these areas, where it is great at in terms of leading in open source benchmarks for code generation. It is really good for code repair, meaning that it could be used for debugging, as well as assisting you in generating the best suggested code. And it's also used great for code reasoning, where it excels in accurately predicting code execution steps. And in this case, it also does really good with multi-language support, where it supports 40 plus languages, and it achieves strong MC-Eval scores, especially in Haskell and Racket, due to its refined data training, which is why this model is really impressive. Now, there's a lot more to this, and I definitely recommend that you read through their research as well as their blog post, because it goes a little bit more further in detail to explain how they came up with this model, how they trained it, and what they're capable of basically generating with it. So I'll leave all the links that I use in today's video in the description below. But now what we're going to be doing is showcasing how we are going to be testing this model, and we're going to be able to see how well this model does in a lot of the benchmark tests that we have created. Now, thanks to Hugging Face, you can access the artifact demo with the new Qwen-2.5 Coder, as well as their chat demo, and we're essentially going to be utilizing these two to help us with this benchmark test. Now, here are 5 different prompts. We're going to first start off with the first prompt, which is to write a basic Python function that takes a list of integers and returns the sum of all even numbers in a list. And essentially, this prompt assesses how well the model is in terms of basic programming skills, especially in terms of specifically listing out manipulation, controlling flows such as loops and conditions, as well as filtering elements based on the condition. So let's send in this prompt and let's see what it's capable of providing. And this is in fact correct. So we have our first prompt correct, because in this case the function that it uses is going to be an expression to filter out the other numbers, and we can see that the number %2 equals 0 from the list of numbers is correct, as it showcases the sum function, then adds these filtered values within this array, and we can see that the total sum of numbers is listed out correctly. And it also provides an explanation, so that's an added bonus. So let's go back into our sheet and give this a pass. Now, next up, we're going to ask it to create a real-time weather dashboard, to develop a weather dashboard using JavaScript and fetches real-time weather data. So for this, we're going to be utilizing their artifacts, and we're going to send in this prompt to see what it's capable of generating live. So we can see that it's generating the HTML code, and essentially we're trying to see how well it is capable of generating applications. So within a couple seconds, we should see this generation come out to fruition within this artifact. So we can see that it's generating everything, and we have this dashboard. So let's state a random city, let's say New York, and let's get the weather for New York. Now, obviously, I need to input an API. So I'm going to tweak this a little bit and have it so that it makes up a random location and finds the weather for that location. So I tweaked it a little bit and I told it to make up the weather for New York, and you can see that it is going to list out the temperature, condition, humidity, wind speed, as well as the 5-day forecast. So in this case, it is giving me a really cool interactive application. It's not the best, it's really simple, but in my case, I do deem this as a pass. Now, the next one is to create an SVG code for a simple butterfly shape. Now, this is something that is really difficult for a lot of models to actually focus on or creating. So let's clear the history and let's request it to send this in. Now, this was a prompt that tend to fail with many of the other models that we showcase on this channel. The only 2 models that were successful was with the Claude 3.5 Sonnet, as well as with the O1 preview. Now, essentially, this is something that it was capable of generating. Now, it does not look accurate, but we're going to go ahead and generate it through their chat to see if it's capable of generating this. So let's give it another try, and we're going to simply copy this and paste it into an SVG viewer so that we can see if it's the correct generation. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this code and see if it's actually functional. Now, essentially, this prompt is going to test its knowledge of SVG and geometry, specifically using basic shapes to create recognizable patterns. So we're going to go ahead and copy this code and go back into an SVG viewer and paste this in. Now, it is definitely not correct, but we can see that it does a good job in creating a recognizable symmetrical wing. So I wouldn't give this a pass, but it did kind of decent, but it was kind of expected, as this is a small 32 billion parameter model in comparison to many of the other proprietary models. SVG is something that is also not something that many people utilize, but in this case, it did fail this particular test. Now, The next one is to implement a graph algorithm. Now, this is essentially where it's going to assess the ability to implement a graph algorithm that is going to manage weighted data structures and visualize the results using Python libraries. So let's go ahead and send this in to see if it's capable of doing this. So it looks like it has generated Dijkstra's algorithm, which is a popular algorithm for finding the shortest path between nodes in a weighted graph. So looks like it is requesting me to install the necessary libraries. So we're going to go ahead and install these libraries. So open up our command prompt, paste this in, click enter. It's going to install all the packages that are necessary. And while it's doing this, we're going to go ahead and copy the code that it had generated for the Dijkstra algorithm. And we can see it gives us an explanation for it as well as an example usage. So what we're going to do now is implement this into VS Code, into a new Python file to see if it's functional. So moment of truth, I have pasted in the code. Let's see if this is functional. So let's play this in and let's see if it is gonna showcase this. And we can see right away it is providing the shortest path from A to D, and in this case it was successfully able to showcase the explanation as to how it used Dijkstra's algorithm. It reconstructed the path, which we see over here from start to end, and it is also showcasing example usage. So in this case it is definitely successful. So let's go over here and give this a pass. Now the last one is to create the Python implementation of Conway's game of life. Now this is something that is quite difficult for a lot of models, so let's see if it's capable of doing this. So let's send this into the artifact so that we can see this visualized. But essentially this is a prompt that assesses the knowledge of cellular automata arrays and manipulations as well as control flows, and it's going to provide a visualization within the terminal. Now it is, in my opinion, not capable of doing this within the artifacts, so I'm gonna actually copy this code that it has generated, and we're gonna be able to then paste it into VS Code to see if it's functional like we did with the last prompt. So let's see if this is functional. I've copied the code from the chat and let's see if it's gonna work in our terminal. So I am getting some sort of error, and unfortunately it doesn't seem to be working as I wish it would. So unfortunately it doesn't seem to be a pass on my sheet, so I'm gonna go ahead and give this a fail. So I'm gonna go ahead and give this another try. I'm gonna paste this Python game of life to prompt it open, and let's see if it's gonna work. And there we go, it's the same error that we get. So unfortunately it wasn't capable of generating this, so we can go ahead and actually solidify this fail. Now in conclusion, this is a really generic test that is going to be focused on a lot of different areas in coding, in the general landscape of coding, but you can not really base the model based off of this performance. It is just a guide way for you to get a better insight as to how well this model is. Now, in my opinion, it is a really good open source model. It's not the best model that's out there in terms of coding, but it's a really good open source free model that you can utilize. And in my opinion, based off the tests that I saw and with prior generations, as well as what the benchmark scores showcase, it is definitely a better 32 billion parameter model in terms of coding in comparison to many of these other models over here, as well as with Llama. So this does give a pass in terms of being one of the best open source models that's out there, and it has one of the best coding capabilities where it could outpace GPT-4 Omni, and it could be on par with Claude 3.5 Sonnet in various ways. And essentially that's basically it for today's video, guys, on the new Qwen-2.5 Coder 32 billion parameter instruct model. I'll leave all the links that I use in today's video in the description below. Make sure you follow me on the Patreon so that you can access all the different types of subscriptions that we give out on a monthly basis for free, as well as a private Discord. Follow me on Twitter, a great way for you to stay up to date with the latest AI news. And lastly, make sure you guys subscribe, turn on the notification bell, like this video, and check out our previous videos so you can stay up to date with whatever is happening in the world of AI. But with that thought, guys, have an amazing day, spread positivity, and I'll see you guys really shortly. Peace out, fellas.